Okay, welcome. Happy Monday. Hope you all having a good morning. Let's go ahead and start standing. Okay, we'll just get right into it. So let's do some arm circles. So start kind of slow with it. Just reach forward. Try and keep those arms closer to those ears, and then kind of Y out those arms as we bring them back. So just that big loop around. And now maybe start going a little bit faster. Now we'll go the other way. So forward. Again, just start nice and slow as we get faster and faster with it. Those shoulders are feeling really, really stiff. You can always slow it down a little bit. Now, we're going to reach those arms out to the side. There's a really bad glare, isn't there? Maybe if I scoot up a little bit, that'll help. Oof, I'm not super bright today, so I'll do the best I can. Okay, so feet are going to be wider, arms out to a T, slight bend in the knees. Just reach across. So if your hamstring's a little bit tighter, maybe just go to the knees, back up, maybe other knee, back up. So maybe you can go mid-shin, mid-shin. Let's do a couple more of these each time. Try and get a little bit lower with it. Keeping that core tight, nice flat back as we twist. So maybe you can work your way all the way down, be hitting the toes, or that arch of the foot. If that's, again, too far, you feel like you really have to round the spine to get there, and let's just keep it at mid-shin. That's fine. Just warming up here. Easy on yourself. Ooh. All right, so then now from here, just hinge from the hips, lower those hands down, or you can again bring those hands to the shins. We'll stretch through those hamstrings, nice flat back. Then maybe we slide those hands down a little bit more. Okay, maybe you can bring your hands down to the mat, let that head hang heavy. You shake your head yes or no. Good, then bring a slight bend to those knees, flatten out that back as we rise up. So we're gonna tee out those arms. So now we're gonna twist, opening up. So right arm is reaching back, left arm is reaching forward. And now think we're gonna hinge, lower down. So then now we're again, our right hand's reaching up, our left hand is reaching down. Bring it back up, switch other side. Left hand reaches back, right hand reaches forward, and lower back down. Good. Bringing it back up. Let's go 2 more times each side. So twist over to that right side, right finger reaches back, then we'll lower down. Left hands to the ground. Ooh, bring it back up, and switch, and down. Bring it back up. Last time each way. Twist over to the right, and hinge. Bring it back up. Last time twist, and down. Good. Bring it back up. Good. So then again, now we're gonna reach those arms out. We're just gonna lower down. So back to that hamstring stretch, that wide-legged fold. This time we're gonna reach. We're gonna walk. There we go. Those hands over to that right side, grabbing onto that right ankle. Nice flat back, and then exhale, fold. And then let's go over to the other side, over to that left ankle. Then bring it back to center. Pause it here for a few breaths. Good, and then into those knees, bring it all the way up. Let's just go ahead and step those feet together. And reaching those arms up, we'll press those hips forward as those arms reach back. And then we'll lower those hands down into that fold. Find that flat back on that inhale. And then exhale, plant those hands down. Step those feet back to our plank. Shift the weight forward. If you need to lower onto those knees, you can. So we're going to lower down onto our stomach. So we're pointing those toes. We're going to roll the shoulders down and back. We're going to lift up. So that lowest part of the rib cage is staying on the mat. Okay, bring it down. So 2 more times. Lift up and down. Lift up. So we're pulling those shoulders down and back away from the ears and bring it back down. Now we'll reverse that plank, holding this plank. Good, core is tight, strong through those legs. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips to those heels. Downward facing dog. So Pressing those heels down as we press those hips up. Good, now we're gonna step that right foot through, that right thumb, that knee lowers down. We're gonna press those hips forward to reach the arms up. Remember, keep that core tightening, holding that rib cage down to take that arch out of the low back. And now from here, we're gonna twist. Left arm's gonna reach forward, right arm reaches back, and then we'll flip that palm. So that right hand reaches down, left arm reaches up and back. Press the hips forward a little bit more. Then we'll lower those hands down, straighten that front leg as we fold. So nice flat back. Good, now flatten out that back a little bit more, keeping this right hip down. We're gonna twist, reaching that right arm up. So if that's a little bit too aggressive, you can always bring the hand to the shin and open up that way. So keep pulling this right hip down as we twist. A lot of times when we twist, that hip likes to pop out, especially if things are really, really tight. That body likes to take that path of least resistance. So keep that hip under control. Keep pulling it down and back. And lower it back down. Rebend into that knee. Let's add another twist. All the twists today. Back is nice and flat. That knee is down. And then we'll twist, reaching that arm up. Actually, again, those hips forward and down. And then lower that hand down. Bring it back to that inverted V, that down dog. And then we'll step that left foot forward. Back knee lowers down. And we'll bring those arms up overhead. So keep that tight core. So you press those hips forward, arms are reaching up. And then we'll twist. Right hand reaches forward, again, left arm reaches back. Now we reach that right arm up. As that left hand is reaching for that hamstring, press those hips forward. Breathe. Now let's lower those hands down. Straighten that front leg, pull those toes back, folding over that leg. And as we hold this, we start to feel that release in that hamstring. And now we can come up to those fingertips, or maybe even bring that hand to the shin. Left hip is staying down, so don't let the hip move at all. And then we'll twist, reaching that left arm up. And then we'll lower that hand down. Okay, lunging into that front knee. Now that back knee is down. Okay, and we'll twist. Left arm is reaching up. Now, lower that hand down. Let's step that foot back to our downward facing dog. We're gonna come forward to a plank. Okay, we're gonna take our right leg. We're gonna step it out to the side, bring it back, drive the knee to the chest, bring it back out. Okay, left leg, tap out to the side, back to center, curl it in, bring it back out. We're gonna get that heart rate up. Well, maybe not the heart rate. We're gonna get that body temperature up a little bit here. Wake you guys up a little bit. So again, right leg out, center, knee to chest, back. Left leg out to the side, center, knee to chest, and out. So again, here we go. Over to the right, center, chest, back. Left, out, center, chest, back. Let's do 2 more each side. To the right, center, in, out, left, center, in, out. One more time. To the right, center, in, out, left, center, in, out, hips up, downward facing dog. A little more bend into those knees, and we'll walk those hands all the way back to our toes. Find that flat back on that inhale, and exhale, fold. Just let it hang heavy here for a couple moments. Now walking those feet a little bit wider, just stay where you're at on the mat is fine. And then sink those hips down into that squat. Okay, so if you want to keep those hands down on the ground, a little bit of help with balance, or hands to heart center, a little more challenge, it's fine too. So driving those knees out as much as you can. Again, if you need to be all the way up here to that squat, that's fine. Okay, but as we hold this, maybe we find that we can kind of settle into those hips a little bit more. Keep that tension. I don't want you to be collapsed here. I want that core tight, that nice flat back. We're active with the feet and the knees. So when we drive those knees out, we're engaging those glutes. So when we make those glutes stronger, that takes a lot of pressure off the knees, takes pressure off the back. One more breath. And then we can just lower those hands down, straighten those legs, turning those feet parallel to each other so you can adjust that width of the feet, maybe make it a little bit narrower. And then again, just fold, letting the head, arms hang heavy. And we'll do a slight bend into those knees. We're gonna rise up to standing, reaching those arms up overhead, reach up nice and tall. Try and get out of that glare. Bring those arms out to that T. Now we're gonna cross. I'll mirror you guys. Left arm is gonna come underneath the right. So I'm gonna grab onto my shoulders. I'm gonna hook it. So see how my elbows are coming past each other? Yeah, so I'm gonna bring the backs of the hands together, or then maybe bring the palms together. So from here, pull the shoulders. I know this is kind of a weird motion. Pull the shoulders down and back, and then those elbows are gonna lift. Hands will come away from the face. Stretching out through those shoulder blades, to that upper back. And now let's go ahead and switch it. So reach those arms out. We'll go the other way. So right arm is going to be underneath the left. Ooh, my shirt's a little tight for this. Here we go. Backs of the hands together, or the palms can come together. And then we'll lift those elbows, pull those shoulders down and back, and then bring those hands away from the face. Stay with that breath. And now release those arms out. Reach them up overhead. Feel going those arms out. So draw those elbows down. Open up through that chest. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, pull it down. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, draw those elbows down. We're going to interlace those fingers behind the back. Knuckles down towards the ground first, and then hands can come away from those hips. So stretching through that front part of the shoulders into the pecs. And now release, bring again those arms out to that T. This time we're gonna bring that right arm across the body. That left arm kind of comes right by the elbow and hugs that arm closer to the body. Now we don't want this shoulder up by the ear. We want those shoulders, that shoulder pulling down. I'm just feeling a little, maybe a little stretch through this tricep. And then we'll go to the other side, bring it across. Hook that arm, pull that shoulder down. Keep breathing. Okay, go ahead and release it. Now again, you stretch the back. Now let's stretch the front. Interlace the fingers, open up through that chest. Now, we're gonna keep the fingers interlaced. We're just gonna bring the fist over to that right side, dropping that right ear down towards that shoulder. So now, really relax a little bit through your left arm. And keeping that core tight. So even though we're just standing here kind of relaxing, we wanna make sure that core is engaged. We have that nice, good posture. Now, if you wanna move this stretch, just a little bit more the back of the neck. Start to look down. Maybe you find your right toes. If you want to bring it looking Bringing the gaze look forward, you can. And bring that head up and bring those hands over to that other side. So again, just start by just dropping that ear down towards that left shoulder. And then you can start to look down, looking, finding the left toes. Bring that gaze back up, lifting that head up. Release it, arms will reach up, and lower those hands down to the ground. Let's step that foot, the left foot back into that lunge. Lower that back knee down, pressing those hips forward. And then again, we're gonna twist, reaching that right arm up. Now, if you're feeling a pretty big stretch through that quad and you wanna keep it here, you can. But otherwise, start to reach that hand back, reaching for that foot. Now, if this is a little bit too aggressive, just bend into that knee, keeping this shape, okay? Or maybe even if you're feeling a big stretch through the front part of your left leg and thigh, then that's fine. So finding what works for you, finding that stretch. And if you've been sitting all day or all morning, it could potentially be pretty tight. So it's good to stretch that out. Now, let that leg release down. Again, we'll straighten that front leg. Hands are gonna be right underneath the shoulder. This hip stays down. Again, twist, open up, reaching that right arm up. And lower those hands down. Rebend that knee. Let's go ahead and bring it back up to that forward fold. Then we'll go the other side. So that right leg is gonna step back. We lower that knee down. Plant that right hand, twisting. Left arm is gonna reach up. And then maybe start to reach that hand back. Ooh, reaching for that foot. To this side. This side might feel a little bit different. I know for me, this side is a lot tighter than my other one. So keep that core tight, keep opening up through that chest. If you have the foot, great. If this is too much, you just have a slight bend in that knee, that's fine too. And then go ahead and release it, finding that half split. So straightening that front leg. So we walk the hands back again. That left hip's gonna stay down, twist, reaching that left arm up. And go ahead and lower it back down. This time we'll step it back to kneeling. Maybe bring some sways to side, maybe a quick child's pose. All right, so a little bit more core, stepping it back to our plank, holding it here. We're gonna do just straight mountain climbers again. So just bring the knee to the chest and straight back out, and then the other leg back out. Okay, so we're gonna start, we're gonna do 10 a little bit slower, and then we're gonna do 10 fast. So right, left is gonna be 1, okay? So right and left, just nice, easy pace, maybe like a marching pace. 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. Here we go. Now fast. 1, 2, 3. If you need to, slow it down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, go ahead and lower down all the way to your stomach. Whew. Take a sec. Now we're gonna roll those shoulders down and back, lift it up. So this time try to lift a little bit higher, stretching out through those abs. If this is obviously too much, just bring it to the degree that works best for you. And we want those shoulders right underneath those, the palms right underneath those shoulders. Ears are pressing down. Relax through those legs. Just big extension through that belly, through the core, extending out through the back. You can add a little sway from side to side if that feels good. Just go ahead and we'll sit it back into a child's pose so you can bring those knees a little bit wider. So maybe even coming off of the mat, so a little more of an inner thigh stretch. And then just soften that head down towards the mat. And relax here, breathe. Let's go ahead and roll it over onto our backs for just a moment. Fire those glutes up a little bit more. When we sit a lot, sometimes our glutes get a little bit inactive. So press into those feet, lift those hips up. So this is good to kind of turn them back on, get them firing. Take the pressure off of the low back. Hold it here, lift, so core is tight. So again, here, we want to feel this in our butt and in our hamstrings. We don't really want to be feeling this in our low back. Keep lifting, hold. Let's go in 5, a little bit higher, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly roll it back down. So that tailbone is going to be the last thing that lowers. Whew. Now cross that right ankle over, tee out those arms, drop the knees over to that right side. Come back to center. Other side, cross that left ankle over, drop the knees over to that left side. And bring it back to center. Hug those knees in. Let's go ahead and rock up to that seat. And then we'll finish off with a twist. So reach those arms up tall, twist it over to that right side. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, maybe twist a little bit more. Bring it back to center, reach it up, over to that other side. And bring it back to center. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me. Sorry if there's a little bit of a glare. Hopefully you could still kind of see what I was doing. But yeah, have a great rest of your day. There's power or intermediate yoga tonight at 4:45, 40-minute class. So hopefully see you all there. Again, I'll try and give you guys modifications for that if you want to try and step it up a little bit. But still, obviously, if you need to take it down, you'll have that option too. All right, thanks guys.